Hey, what's up? So remember when Lion King came out? Remember when Beauty and the Beast came out? And everyone was like, we don't like this. This is a copycat of the animation. There's nothing they've tried to do different. This Disney is ripping us off because they are not giving us anything different. Well, with the news that we all know about, because thanks to Rachel Zegler, who is like the main character of Snow White, we now know that they're trying to do something with the story. Is this a bad thing? Is it a good thing? The delivery of that news, I think, was very, very poor. It was extremely poor. Now we've not seen the trailer, we've not seen the movie, we don't have the full synopsis, but just how that news reached the people was kind of shocking to us, to the normal viewers, and for some may feel like a big letdown. But for the studios and maybe Disney, I know there's a group of people who are pretty happy with this, because there's someone somewhere who did not know that Snow White was happening, and now they know thanks to this controversy. You know, controversy sells, and there's no such thing as bad news. So there's a group in Disney, I believe, that are celebrating that this happened, and there's a group that is worried, I understand. But the idea that they're trying to do something different is very promising, because, as I said, we were all complaining about all the live action remakes. They're doing the same thing, but now, hopefully, they're trying to do something different. Now, is different good or bad? It depends with what they deliver. My question to the people who are saying that they want the same old Snow White the way it was in the animated movie. This has nothing to do with the casting. I'm talking about the story. What did you think about Lion King? What did you think about Beauty and the Beast? Would you want the same thing replicated into live action? Do you want just an aesthetic job? Do you want to see the same Snow White story just in live action? Because I believe this is what people were complaining about initially. Even with Aladdin, there was the same problem with the genie, and it was just the same thing, different aesthetic. And I believe that's not what we wanted. But all that said and done, let's talk about Rachel Zegler. And I'm not talking about Rachel Zegler alone. Gal Gadot is in this, and other people like Will Smith and Ethan Hunt are also in this. Because I want us to discuss why I think actors should be put on a leash, especially these elite actors. They should not be allowed to produce movies. Because everything, if you look at all movies that have had these so-called vocal actors being producers in the movies, they've not been really good movies. And remember, we live in the streaming age, whereby making the most valuable movies are not like the best first watch. Your movie needs to be rewatchable because it's on streaming. And we all have lazy Sundays. People need to revisit your movies. People need to go back to your movies. So one of the most important things that not very many people talk about is just how rewatchable your movie is. And when you look at all the movies that have had actors also playing producers, they've had a rewatchability issue, or they're basically not good. Okay, let me give you an example. With Gal Gadot, I hope she's not a producer in Snow White, because lastly she was a producer in Wonder Woman. She was also a producer in Heart of Stone. What do those two movies have in common? Look at them. They were not the best of movies out there, because again, when an actor is involved in a project, the project moves from being about a story or being about the product, and moves into being about centering on this one particular individual, because they have their own agenda and they want everything around the production to narrow it to them and only them. Another example, Will Smith. Will Smith is an awesome actor. I acknowledge that. But look at After Earth. He was a producer there. How did it go? Let's look at Bad Boys. Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys 3 is a fantastic movie in terms of story. But outside the twist within the movie, if you know the twist of the movie, rewatching that movie is very difficult. Why? Because let's be honest, it does not come close to what Michael Bay was able to do. Because as much as Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, they're like 20, 30 years old, they're some of the most entertaining movies out there. Why? Because in a way, they were created to be like super entertaining movies. They may not have the best story, they may not have a very strong core in terms of story, but the action and the entertainment value is off the roof. So you have this. If I was to go on Netflix and see Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 3, I wouldn't go to 3, because to be honest, 3 is focuses on focuses on Mike Ladd so much. It focuses on the Will Smith character so much that Martin Lawrence is just a third wheel. You know, it's less about him because it focuses on Will Smith and this new team of younger people. And if you look at Bad Boys 2, that's like one of the most balanced action movies out there. And do we need to talk about Black Adam? I mean, The Rock was a producer. Look at the effect that he had on the production in terms of direction. So, if you look even at Tom Cruise, you know, people say that Tom Cruise being a producer is a good thing because he gets to do his own stunts, which is awesome. But somewhere a stuntman did not get a job because of that. Second thing, if you're writing a screenplay and it's starring Tom Cruise and you want to write an insane action set piece, I believe some screenplay writers will hold themselves back because they know that this actor, this is going to be Tom Cruise. He may be crazy enough to do some really mad stuff and may get injured. So I feel that some screenplay writers may tone some things down because they know that this is going to be played by Tom Cruise. I'm not saying that Tom Cruise cannot do these things. I believe that he can. But what effect does it have on the production as a whole? For him, it's positive, but in terms of jobs. So yeah, with someone like Rachel Zegler as the lead in the next Snow White movie, there's that sense that they have the entitlement because they are the lead actors and with the backing of Gal Gadot, who again have nothing wrong against her. If you look at her portfolio, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman, BVS, and Fast Furious movies, those I consider to be some of her best movies, and she's not a producer in any of those movies. She is directed. She's an ingredient within a bigger dish. And so now that you've started having all these actors be vocal about their agendas, that will also affect the quality of the products that come from these actors. You get? And so I feel that as much as they have their own strike, they have issues that they need to take care of, and I agree. I totally support actors. I want them to get what they deserve. I don't want them to be exploited. But these elite actors should also learn that we don't care about your agendas. We just want to see good products. We just want to see good stories. We just want to be entertained. And they should also remember that their job is pretending to be something that they're not. They are paid to be pretenders. And they shouldn't feel that they're so important. And again, going back to Gal Gadot, I'm sorry, this is going to be a Gal Gadot roast section. Again, totally respect her. Loved her in Wonder Woman, loved her in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think she's a fantastic actor. If she was separated from that need to be something, what do I mean? I was watching Hot Ones and I heard her talk about how, and it's clear from that interview and what she's been doing, that she's doing it in order to be an icon for young girls and women, and there's nothing wrong with that. But before you go into doing that, remember that what is supposed to make you be that is a good product, is what is surrounding you. If you are only that and your product is poor, 10 years from now, people will not watch your product. 10 years from now, some people will not know you did. But oh, there was someone called Gadot, she did this movie, but you cannot rewatch that movie because it's dated and it's about. I wouldn't see myself or my daughter watching Heart of Stone 10 years from now, because generally it's a part. And if you hear me talk about Heart of Stone, remember it's coming from the same people who produced Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. It's the same team, it's the same people. So why is one working and why is one not working? Anyway, back to if I had 10 years from now, if your product is not strong, people are not going to, those young girls that you're doing it for, Gal Gadot, those young women that you're doing it for, it's highly unlikely that they will be able to see your movie. Not because you may have performed really well, but the product in itself died as a whole, and you will not be seen because of that. So if you focus on a product from its core, which is the story, you can have a very good story, and then people will start now seeing the badass female character within that. Example, Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Good direction, very good story. That's why I consider Linda Hamilton to be like one of the best female characters out there. Well written, very good story, and I'm talking about Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 only. She is perfect in those movies because it's not about her, it's about everything about her. Everything around her. Everything around her was constructed so well that it made her stand out. So all this Rachel Zegler, I don't know, maybe that is what the studio wanted. Maybe everything was scripted for her to say whatever she said, but in a way she was right. I agree that she was right. It's only that the delivery was kind of poor. I would want to see Snow White, but I don't want to see the Snow White that I saw in the animated movie. I want to see something different, something with another sense of creativity. Now, it's too early for me to judge and say that it's a bad idea. It's too early to say that it's a good idea. I would only want to see the trailer, and then I can judge from there. Because even when people complain about the dwarfs, you haven't seen the trailer, you haven't seen at the product past post-production. So that's what I want to see. So yeah, basically that's it. Thanks for watching. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. And I shall see you on the next one. Please subscribe if you're here. Thanks for watching.